What's going on, my great growers from around the world? This is Tapia Ag, back once again with another quick video. It's January 11, 2022. Hopefully everybody started their New Year's, with the good vibe, with, good intentions, everything hopefully has been good for you and your family, taking care of yourselves. And let's get to it. It's time for that pruning season, and we're out here doing the Primitivo. For some of y'all that have been watching my videos, remember when I started these vines? Originally, the vines were not up here on the wire, how you see them right now. They used to be on the way bottom out here. And now that I've been grooming them, it's been a year since I've been working on them, and this is the results that are coming in as the years are coming by. And just wanted to do a little quick video on this because this is very important, even for the ones that are brand new, how to do the pruning when it starts to do the spur pruning. Normally, once these ones will start pushing, you'll have canes like this that look like this. This is you're gonna be the spur for next year. What I normally do, because they're actually first year that it's gonna have actual the spur, I'd rather do a one bun pruning right now. That way next year, what I'm trying to do is that make this thing strong, so it can come out looking like this. If this is the old spur from last year, it used to be one of these. Now it turned into one of these, and it has two shoots. Always remember, these two are quality fruit. Whatever comes out over here that doesn't look either like this one's right here, or like this, if something comes out here, that's the shoots. You don't want shoots unless you have to replace it, the arm or something like that. When you have something coming out like this, both of these is quality, but then you have to make sure and make the choice and choose which is going to be in the better position. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused, because they're not sure, and normally they'll just cut right here and they'll cut right here, and they'll leave two horns. You don't want to do that. You always want to leave the one that's already coming out away from the main cordon, because let's say you prune right here. Just give an example. It's good, but the problem is it's always going to be too close to the cordon, so you kind of have to, what we call it, open pruning. So you have to cut and make sure that when you do the cut, don't do it too close to the button, and make sure you leave two butts. And I'd rather leave this here and cut this one right here. And this is the reason why, because next year when they grow, they're gonna be away from the wire and away from the main arm of the vine. Unless this was no good candidate, then go ahead and you can leave the other one over here, and then you have to next year correct it and try to push it away from the main cordon and away from the wire, because then you'll have problems trying to do the pruning. You'll be always hitting the wire, and you'll be messing up your pruners and things like that. And then sometimes because this thing is gonna get bulky, so it'll start cutting in. The wire will start cutting into the wood as the spur starts to grow. This one can handle two buttons, but because these ones over here, like the one you see here, it's not like this one coming up with the old spur from last year. I am leaving them a one button, just one button, because the reason I'm doing it is that way it can be strong enough to handle those clusters for this year coming up. So you gotta be considerate, not to leave too many buttons on the brand new spurs that you're doing for this year. This vine barely has a year since I fixed it. For the ones that don't know or haven't seen my videos, this vine used to be way out here in the bottom, up in this wire right here. So it's a foot off the ground, and that was no good. It will catch fungus, and it was just bad. Everything was not quite how it's supposed to be. the fruit would grow, but when you were coming with the sprayer, it wouldn't spray. We didn't catch any of the spray because the grass will overgrow. You know, the moist will catch it, and you know, you'll have mildew and things like that building up. So as I started growing all these vines, I managed to put them up here about my waistline, coming off the ground. Now they're looking like this. They're more clean. No signs of that mildew and stuff. Normally you'll see spots of mildew on the canes. Sometimes that happens. You know, as long as you spray with time and do it right, you could be able to prevent all that fungus on the canes. Depending on the area you're at, sometimes it rains too much. Sometimes it's just too it never dries fast enough, so that's why you get all that fungus. But you know, always make sure that when you do the pruning, have your hand space. Like right here, see, you have a hand space. You could do a hand space and a thumb. I just do a hand space. It works good. See, you got the hand space, and then you got another hand space over here, and then you have to have your hand space over here. Don't have too many in the middle. Always give them their space, because they're gonna get bulky, they're gonna get big, and they need to breathe with the with air and have even sunlight. The same over here. If some of these vines, you know, because they're all brand new, sometimes they don't make it. The buds might die from because of last year they didn't make it. Before you cut over here, make sure that you have enough buds or how do you say, spurs. Because if they don't have any, then you're gonna have to cut like about right here, and then go ahead and start a new one with one of the cordons. That's basically, this is what I did over here. I left 2 candidates, 1 and 2, so I can be able to, you know, make the arm and make a V shape. If this one breaks, I have this one over here. And when you do start the cordon right here, make sure you count the butts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only leave like about 4 to 3, and then cut the rest. Don't leave it too long, because then it won't help produce too much fruit, or it'll produce the fruit, but it's gonna be like small clusters and no struggle. And what you want to do is make this cane get thicker, bulky, and that way everything grows even. The same I did over here. The old arm didn't make it, so I just made a new one. Once I finish doing the pruning, I'm gonna come back and do the tying. And when you do the tying, make sure it's nice and tight and firm onto the wire. Don't let it loose, don't let it dance, because it gets heavy with the fruit, and then the cordon is too weak to handle it. It'll drop onto the ground. But once you start doing it right, they'll start getting nice and sturdy. They'll be nice and healthy, and everything will start, you know, getting into shape. Don't rush it. Don't get too desperate. You know, this takes time. You know, use your head more than your body. That way you don't come out too tired. I did a few rows already, and it's coming out pretty nice. Like I said, originally the arms were on the bottom. You know, we're about a foot off the ground. That was no good, so I had to cut them and bring them up here, and all the results are going great. Brand new ones right here, new cordons, and that's the way you do it. This is the Primitivo vines. As I move along and I finish doing the pruning, I'll come back with another video. And but yeah, this is a year ago since I've been working on these vines, trying to shape them up, you know. For next year, the whole goal is to have better position with the spurs, and then doing the open pruning. Right now, some of them are gonna come out with the old spur, but most of them, this is the first year to actually make a spur for the following year. And then from there we'll start doing the 2 buttons. Right now it's mostly gonna be 1 button. I recommend it. If they're thicker than this cane, you can do 2 buttons, but because it is the first year, I just rather do 1 button and let them kind of, you know, push themselves to get to a better quality of fruit for this year. The following year, I'm pretty sure they could be able to handle the two buns. And always leave one spur. Don't do little horns and one and on a spur and then leave two horns. Don't do that. It'll produce fruit, but it won't be as quality as normally we do with two only with the bun or two buns. So hopefully you guys catch something new out here. This is Tapia Ag. Catch you on the next one. Orale pues, al rato.